What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the King's Court with me, Vincent Miracle, here for fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com, and SatKingsNation.com. So be sure to get all your Kings news from every one of those websites. Joining us today is a special guest, Fox Sports Sam Amico. Sam, welcome back to the show. It's glad to have you on.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
And of course, joining me as always is co-host Ryan Hernandez. Ryan, what's going on, my friend?
It's going good. Great to have Sam on the show. Very appreciated him taking the time to be on the show. So let's get started.
Definitely. So Sam, I want to just jump right in and get this going because it's the most obvious thing that's happened in the last few weeks, and that's the NBA draft, the NBA combine, and the lottery just happened, and the Kings landed that number 8 pick, and soon after, they put that on the trading block. Was that like a good move on their part, just automatically getting that 8 pick, putting on the trading block, and basically saying they're going to go after veteran players? Was that a smart decision, or was that something that they should have waited to, postpone for a little while longer?
Well, I think that's a fairly wise decision, actually, if you consider the fact that the team has so many young players already. Why not at least explore the idea of bringing in a veteran, seeing what you can get for that pick? Eventually, you may use it, but right away, see what you can get for that pick. Maybe if you get a good veteran to come in there, a team to give you a good veteran to come in there.
Yeah, I think the Kings need veteran help. I think that's one of their biggest flaws was this team is such a young roster. So adding a player that can come in who's been in the trenches and has really seen it all could really come in and help. But let's say, for example, they can't find a trade, they can't really piece together a nice trade to bring in a veteran. Is there any prospects out there that are around 8 that you think, okay, this would be a good player to fit for Sacramento?
Well, obviously they could use a power forward, and the kid from Indiana, Noah Benlow, fits that, and he could be available there. Obviously, the Gordon kid from Arizona, he'll probably be gone by then, but he'd be a nice pickup there at 8. But when you draft at 8, kind of important to draft for best available as opposed to we're going to go out and get a position, because a lot of times when you draft for a position, you end up hurting yourself. So I think they just need to draft a guy who's the best available player if they keep the pick.
Awesome. All right. Well, before I let Ryan go ahead and ask you a couple questions, I want to get one more at you before I move it over to him. So for those who don't know, you're based out in Ohio, which is Cleveland territory. And I was wondering, what was your thoughts on having the Cavs only having a 1.7% chance of getting that number 1 pick, and now having it 2 years in a row, getting that first round or getting that first pick? Is there a chance they're going to trade it? I mean, what's the feeling going on out there in Ohio for all them getting that first pick?
Well, it's a good question. I think they are exploring the idea of trading it. I don't think they're real big on the idea of trading it. But I do think that the rest of the league is calling them, engaging to see what they could maybe get for that number 1 pick. But, I honestly think the Cavs are probably going to keep it because it's such a difficult thing to trade. And who they'll draft is beyond me right now. I don't even think they know. It'll either be Joel Embiid, the big center from Kansas, or his Kansas teammate, Andrew Wiggins, or Duke small forward, Jabari Parker. So, a lot of interesting things could happen in this draft because you're not real sure who's going to go at number 1. But as far as the Kings go, this draft is talented all the way through about 15 with guys who can come in and make an impact. So, regardless of who the Cavs take and who falls a little bit, I think the Kings will get a good player as well.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to throw it over to Ryan so he can get in some questions as well.
Okay, cool. My first question is, how aggressive do you expect the Sacramento Kings to be this offseason as far as trades and signings?
Well, that's a great question. I think the first thing you need to think about if you're the Kings is we have a pretty good base here with DeMarcus Cousins, obviously Rudy Gay, Isaiah Thomas. These are guys that need to be, as far as Gay and Thomas, those are guys that need to be signed, and you have to figure out how you're going to go about signing them, whether you're going to give them huge contracts or whether you're going to give them something smaller than they're looking for, and then what do you do? Do they want to get traded? Do they go elsewhere? It's a tough situation, but at the same time, it's a good situation because you have three guys you really like. Now, free agency, they can always be a player because Sacramento, obviously now with a new arena coming in, and new ownership, new general manager from last summer, it's a stable place to be with great fans, and you may not appeal to the Carmelo Anthony or the LeBron James of the world, but you can go get those second-level free agents, and I think they'd be a good fit in Sacramento, and I think a lot of them would be more than happy to play in Sacramento, especially with guys like Cousins and Day and Thomas.
Cool. My second question would be, hold on, regarding the situation with Isaiah Thomas, because everyone knows he had a great season this year. Everyone knows he's a restricted free agent this season. So my question is, has he become an expendable asset because of the situation with the salary and that they have a good draft and they have a solid point guard in Ray McCallum?
Well, it'd be interesting. The Kings can go a couple of ways. First of all, you have to see Isaiah Thomas is going to test the market probably, and the Kings will let him see what's out there. And if somebody gives them something reasonable, the Kings will certainly match. If not, you have to start looking in another direction, and maybe Marcus Smart last to the 8th pick. Maybe you set 8th pick to go get a veteran, point guard. So a lot could play out, but I think the Kings obviously really like Isaiah Thomas, and he likes being there. So I think it'll work out, but it could get testy for a little bit there in July when free agents go. But then you have to see, somebody will certainly offer Isaiah Thomas a contract other than the Kings, but I think the Kings will end up matching it, and Isaiah Thomas will be there for a little while.
Okay, Sam, I actually want to hit on this even a little bit more, get a little bit closer to it, because Rudy Gay is kind of in this same situation where we don't know as Kings fans where he's going to go because he has that player option that doesn't get decided on until, after the draft when free agency begins. So do you take that into consideration? Do you make Rudy Gay your first choice and you try and sign him and then just see wherever the chips fall with Isaiah Thomas? Because let's say Isaiah Thomas gets a contract, I believe that he's going to get around $7 to $8 million because of what Tyreke Evans got last year, and Isaiah Thomas is in that same situation. So if you had to choose, Sam, which is basically summing up my question here, is who do you choose to go after first, and who do you sign if you have to choose between the two, Isaiah Thomas or Rudy Gay?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know who you really choose. It depends on, if you want to. You have a point guard and a big man, which are two huge things in the NBA. I might choose Isaiah Thomas first, but then you look at the situation with wing players are so valuable in the NBA now with, obviously the LeBrons and Kobe, when Kobe was in his prime, and, Carmelo Anthony. So 6'7", 6'8" guys, 6'9" guys, that Rudy Gay fits into that equation. And he's still young enough, and he's a good player, and he likes playing in Sacramento. I think you'd have a hard there. And if you could only choose one, I'd probably go with Rudy Gay, and hopefully I could find another point guard who was happy and productive, like Isaiah Thomas was in Sacramento. But I'd only choose Rudy Gay by a whisker. It wouldn't be an easy choice.
Awesome. Well, Sam, I want to thank you for coming on the show today, giving us some insight on what's going around in Cleveland and giving your thoughts on the Kings and basically what's going on this offseason and what to expect. So thanks again for joining the show, and I hope to have you on again maybe later on this offseason to talk about, projections for next year.
Thanks so much for having me, and I look very much forward to coming back.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. I'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye. Awesome, guys. That was Sam Amico from Fox Sports. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think and, get your overall feel of what Sam had to say about Isaiah Thomas and the Rudy Gay situation, the Kings draft situation, and things like that. I think Ryan and I asked some pretty great questions that came from basically all aspects. And I know I really like that when he gave his input on the Cavs just to see what the feel is like out there in that situation. So, Ryan, what did you take away from this interview?
Well, it was good to know that know that he was talking about how the situation is with Rudy Gay and Isaiah Thomas and how important Rudy Gay is to this team. And a lot of fans like both players, and a lot of fans choose one or the other. But the thing is both players are good. They're really good for this team, and I like how he touched that both players should be on this team next season because of how important they are to this team.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I took away from that as well was the situation between Rudy Gay and Isaiah Thomas. The big thing I took away out of that entire conversation as well, though, was what he hit on about Isaiah Thomas. He said it multiple times. Isaiah Thomas should be on the Kings, and that's how much people look at it. I mean, he even said it. He's expecting other teams to want to go sign Isaiah because of how well he played last year and the 2 previous years before. Let's not forget, Isaiah Thomas was the 60th pick in the 2011 draft, so he still has room to grow. The biggest problem, the biggest knock on Thomas is his height. But, I mean, coming from someone who's based out in Ohio and he still sees that Isaiah Thomas is this player that people are going to sign, and they look at him and say he's only maybe a hair whisker underneath choosing between him and Rudy Gay, is a big sign that we may be choosing between, as Kings fans, seeing the Kings franchise choose between one or the other. So I think that was one of the biggest takeaways. I think his insight on the draft was very informative as well. I liked his insight on what he projected were some of the players at number 8 that he got in there. He said, Aaron Gordon out of Arizona. You had Marcus Smart out of OCU or whatever, Oklahoma State, and stuff like that. And, he hit around the head. I mean, you don't draft for needs at the number 8 spot because you don't have the best selection at number 8. But for how deep this draft is, like he said, there's going to be talent there. And that's those were the 2 biggest takeaways I actually had, from this interview that we had that I thought was very, very informative, very, very fun to have him on. I can't wait to have him on again and things like that. Ryan, did you see anything else from this interview at all, or anything you want to add into this episode that you think, hey, let's keep an eye out for this, or did you hear what he said about this or anything like that?
Well, I like, as you said, I liked what he said about the draft. And the prospects available, and you go after the best available player, not just the player that you think that will fit into your system. Because 8 is in one of those tricky spots in the draft. It's not in the top 5, and it's not in the mid draft. It's in the center, in the question mark area, and you just go for the best pick and hope that pick is the best fit for your team.
Yeah, I completely agree, and like I said, it's going to be a very, very interesting month because the draft is June 26th. It's that close. It's not far away at all, and you're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks or so, the next couple of weeks or so, the Kings are going to start bringing in prospects to start working out for them just to see what they can get, whether it is they decide to move down or whether it is they decide to draft at number 8. A trade still has to happen for them to trade away their pick. It's not like their pick is gone yet. So they're going to still bring in prospects. It's going to be fun to see who they bring in. Aaron Gordon is reportedly going to start coming to Sacramento. He said it multiple times in multiple interviews. I think the Kings are going to be looking at point guards, whether that be Tyler Ennis, whether that be Marcus Smart. They need a distributor, they need energy, and a defense guy. So you get 2 of those with both those point guards with Marcus Smart and Tyler Ennis. The decision's up in the air. You know, Alfred Payton, who I brought up last time, is another defensive guy. Maybe you can get in the second round if you decide to trade into the second round. Players like that. So I think this is going to be a very wide range of players that the Kings are going to be bringing in. Maybe they bring in a guy like McDermott to bring in shooting. But that is our episode for today, guys. It's a very short, very laid-back episode. I wanted to get Sam on. I wanted to get his information. I also wanted to fill you guys in on what SatKingsNation.com is doing and what we've been processing through. If you guys didn't notice, we didn't have much on this weekend, and that's because, you know, we were busy trying to figure out more and more things to add to the website. As you know, we are an upcoming building website, and so that is what we plan on doing, is just to keep building, keep getting better. The only way we can do that is to actually start planning, so that every day you guys can start coming on there and seeing new things. And what we've decided to do, excuse me, is something called Prospect Profile. And Ryan has already posted one up today. We have one on there today. Prospect Profile this week is actually going to be Aaron Gordon, which is awesome. Ryan worked really hard on it. Everyone go check it out. It's on SatKingsNation.com. This episode, of course, will be on SatKingsNation.com. And I believe it's going to be every Tuesday and Saturday are going to be Prospect Profile. So you're going to get 2 each week. So this week it's on a Monday, but this is technically going to be Tuesday's Prospect Profile, which is Aaron Gordon, and then Saturday will probably be Doug McDermott, and then so on and so forth. And you'll see more and more coming along. And let us know what you guys think about those, the Prospect Profiles. Go check out the first one, and you just see the feel of it and what you guys think of it. Leave your comments in the comments section. And yeah, that's basically it. Ryan, is there anything you want to add? One more thing before we sign out?
Check out the website. It's a good website. It's a cool, fun website made by fans for Kings fans, and yeah,
man, it's a great website. Like I said, it's up and coming. We have great articles on there. We've had a couple of news come in through there, so it's sort of like news that comes through, like breaking out news, like let's say the arena deal or the Kings Landing 8 pick. We were there, and we put that on there as soon as we could, which was in the first 10 minutes of it happening while we were trying to do a live coverage episode of the draft lottery, which, if you guys didn't know, went terribly wrong. But we did try it, and we did get to post up information as soon as it happened. So we're giving you guys news, we're giving you guys articles, and of course we're giving you the Kings Court videos, and we're going to try and get you even more videos later on down the road. That's more upcoming, and I would guess stage 2 of this, long step-by-step development of the website. So that's our show for today, guys. Ryan, where can people find you online?
They can find me on Twitter at KingNandisRyan. They can find me on the Kings app, as always, at KingNandis. And check out the website, as we've been saying. It has some great articles there. There's that prospect profile that I did on Aaron Gordon. Check that out. Let us know what you think. And yeah, what do you think about that?
All good, man. It's all good. It's Monday Blues. Monday Blues. It's all right, man. Anyway, so yeah, everyone go ahead and go check out that website, SatKingsNation.com, Fansided.com. Go get some more stuff on there, and GoldenGateSports.com for all your Kings news. It's awesome stuff going around. SatKingsNation.com. Like I said, it's developing. It's getting better. Let Ryan know. Let all of us know what you guys think about Prospect Profiles, the new segment that we brought on, about what you guys feel about it, how do you guys like it. Also with the Throwback Thursdays we bring up the history and just let you guys remember what it was. Last week was Chris Webber, how he came in and how he left the NBA. Brought that into your attention, so go ahead. That's a great read. And, like I said, we're just going to keep developing. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you guys thought about this interview. The great insight that we got from Fox Sports' Sam Amico, the thoughts that he got from the Rudy Gay situation, from the NBA draft, from the prospects that are going to be at the certain positions, and even the offseason, signing players and trades. He said the Kings should be pretty out there with it, so pretty aggressive. So let me know what you guys think. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. We love to hit the likes. If you dislike it, hit the thumbs down button. As much as we don't like to see it, it lets us know that we need to improve on something. So, like I said, leave your comments. hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Go check out SatKingsNation.com. Follow me on Twitter at VM Center. You can follow the website and this show on Twitter as well. We are at SKN Articles. And until next time, Kings fans, the next show is on Friday. Bye-bye. Ryan, like always, throw up the deuces. All right, man.